watching the Isto James channel. I am Isto James, and we are now on episode 5 of this Nightmare Before Christmas painting. For those of you who have been watching since the first episode, I want to thank you so much for taking interest in all of this. If I could do anything a little bit better, please leave it in the comments. We always love feedback. We do want to make this channel as great as possible, and I am not afraid to a little bit of criticism. Just, you know, be nice. So, as we get into episode 5 here, I'm going to be showing you guys Town Hall and a little bit of the trick-or-treaters. This is the really fun part, but it's also the most important part because I'm going to be at a never-ending war here with values. And simply put, in simple English, is I need to make sure the colors look right. They need to be bright where they're supposed to be bright, and there's light sources, and dark when there's shadow and not as much light on them. It's all got to look balanced and correct. So you're going to see only a little bit of this. I've spent so many hours between doing the moon or Jack just to make sure the colors look right. So you're going to get a little sample of that. And I'm not going to talk too much so you can see how I do this. But I do play with it a little bit. I don't always get it right the first time, and I have to go back and forth. So as we're looking at the the town hall, things like that, the tapestries here, they need to look like they're cloth, they're tapestry. So I got to get the color right. So I go back and forth a few times with the brighter orange and the lighter orange until I find the right balance. As I'm working on the rooftop here of Town Hall, I need to make sure those edges are nice and bright. Even the yellow tint from the moon comes off of this so it looks appropriate. And that's all I'm doing. I'll go back and forth until I feel that I have found just the right texture and the color balance here. A lot of people don't know it with values. The simple way to make sure you have your values correct is think of it in terms of black and white or grayscale, as if there's no color at all. If you get it right, a black and white picture, you'll still see all the textures and the values, and you'll see the right brightness, and it'll actually still look 3D. And if you didn't get them right, it'll look very flat and two-dimensional. So it depends on your art style, what you want. For me, I want it to still stay cartoony, but I also want to have realistic values. I think I've mentioned this before, and it's so important to me. Sometimes I get lost in my own head, and I just go back and forth and back and forth. But sometimes that's just the process you have to go through as an artist. So we're getting close, and this is really starting to look like I got the right values. This was tricky too, doing the pumpkin on this tapestry, because the tapestry itself is orange, but the pumpkin's also orange. So I had to find that nice balance using the same tones, but make sure that you can see that that's a pumpkin. Hopefully that it looks like it's embroidered or printed on straight onto that piece of cloth. And of course, my favorite thing about all this is as I'm looking at the mayor, seeing that bright light come out of that town hall. I love that color. I love how rich it looked. And you're going to see here in a little bit that I need to capture some of that color on Jack. So it should be interesting. Tune into episode 6 and you're going to see how I do that. So as we're working on these trick-or-treaters, lock, stock, and barrel, this is really familiar territory for me, because I used to paint on shoes a lot with Toms, Vans, things like that. And these small characters, even though they're really, really tiny, they had to have this cool detail popping out. And on this canvas, they ended up being just so the right portion size happened to be that they were small. And you can see they're no bigger than my fist. And I had to get all these details in. So as I'm laying down these details, I'm just capturing the values, the grayscale, if you will, where it's brighter on one side where there's light, darker on others. I know it's redundant, but I've been saying it through the whole painting, but it's true. And then when you put these final bright touches on them, when I put in the eyes or the teeth on any of these characters, or put the light around the brim of their hats, that's when they really come to life and they really pop. And I got lucky to have a little experience with that before I got into this painting. So I'm going to take a break from talking here and let you just watch how I go back and forth with these values. Covers this episode. Check us out on the next episode. I'm going to start working on Jack and show you how I do some of the values and colors there to make a black and white skeleton really come to life with all these values. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, give us some comments, show us some love. Thank you again for watching us, and I can't wait to see you again next time.